And we are live.
We are.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Buzz. My name is Kim Mastrofino, and with me tonight is my co-host Kim Abasso Goldberg. How you doing, Kim?
I'm good, thank you, Kim.
I'm so glad that you were able to come on, and it's great to see you again, even if it's through a StreamYard situation here.
Right.
But we do have a great show tonight. We have Bruce Dove and Donald Plowman. I guess you want to be called Don or Donald.
Either one.
Either one's good. Either one's good. So we're going to ask them some real simple questions and catch up with them. It's been years since I've seen these two faces, and so I'm really happy that you were able to jump on, and we do appreciate your time. So, Kim, I think that you're going to start with the first question. The other Kim, right?
Yes. Kim and
Kim
the other
too.
one, Kim. Yes. Hi, guys.
Hey there,
It's
Kim.
nice to see you. So it's been 50 years since we graduated. Can you tell us where life has taken you and what you're doing now? We can start with Bruce.
Yeah, basically I was working in the restaurant business on the East Coast, and I kind of got tired of it because of the politics of it, and moved out here and decided to go back. Well, not go back, but go into music. So I went to a retail music store, and I started doing repairs and teaching and retail sales and ordering and stuff like that. And I had a couple of bands out here. One was called the Fabulous Marines. And actually I was a front man and guitar player for that band. And then I did a little jazz ensemble for a while. But that's about it. Right now I'm just teaching them. I'm doing private lessons.
Okay.
So that's about the ball of wax.
Okay.
I
So
teach,
you followed
guitar.
your dream.
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
I tried to get out of the whole thing about the restaurant business was I couldn't get out of it because my family ran Dovecrest,
Okay.
which was a pretty successful little restaurant, and everywhere I went, people wanted to work me in somehow. So I got
That's a
tired
tough
of
business. That
Yeah.
is a tough business, right?
Yeah. It's
it, especially today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah. Thank you. Don, what about you?
Well, let's see. Okay, so right now, I'm like really happy. I'm in a really good spot, musically speaking. I'm playing with 3 bands right now, and with like really fantastic people. So, and I'm doing some diverse stuff, which is real nice. So I'm playing with a big band, and which is a lot of fun. They don't work. We don't work a whole lot because it's very hard to. They're expensive. Big bands are expensive because you got 18 people.
Yeah.
But anyway, but that's really fun. And then I'm playing with a guitar player, and we're just starting up a Jeff Beck tribute show.
Oh, wow.
And
great.
now we had started this before he passed, and like about 4 months ago, we kind of started up, and then he passed away kind of soon after that. But anyway, so that's really good, and we just did it. We just did a video shoot to put together promotional materials for that. And then the other thing,
you need a great guitarist for that type of thing.
yeah, actually, the guitar player is really good, and he's doing a really good job. He's doing a great job, and I guess there's a little bit of fear and trepidation that comes with that because Jeff Beck was, so unique. So,
Right.
So I'm glad I play drums instead of guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely has a unique style.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
and then the other, I'm playing with another guy who's just a prince. His name is Jimmy Leahy, and he's the guitar player. He's a national guy, and he's one of the guitar players for Dennis DeYoung. and who from Styx.
Okay.
And so and it's not Styx. So there are two Styx bands, basically. There's Styx, and then there's Dennis DeYoung doing the music of Styx.
Okay.
And the two don't get along, right? You know,
Oh.
it's lawsuits and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, so Jimmy is one of the guitar players for Dennis DeYoung. And Jimmy's like, he's a phenomenal guitar player and just a prince of a fella. And so anyway, you know, I'm just having a great time. Right.
Yeah.
And then one other thing that's happening today, and I hope Tom Barbone gets to see this. I'm going to need some ski lessons from him. But Jimmy had a heart attack at one of our gigs like 2.5 years ago. And you know, we really dithered and we didn't know what to do exactly. We said, yeah, we should call you an ambulance. And he said, no, I'm okay. But he really wasn't. And eventually we called an ambulance, and a good thing we did because his heart stopped and they were doing CPR on him, you know, and all that. But he survived, thankfully. But, you know, I felt so horrible and so inadequate that, you know, we hadn't taken action sooner. So we have some friends of the band that are ski patrollers. And they were telling me about ski patrol and all of the first aid training that they get. And I was totally unaware of all that. I don't ski. But I said, I would love to do that, get the training.
Yeah.
And so I did. They let me take the training, and actually they let me join the ski patrol up at Jack Frost up in the
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't ski. So so for the past 2 seasons, I go up there and work in the aid room. And anyway,
That's
so
great.
So that's new. That's something new and different.
Yeah.
That's great.
I need some ski lessons from Tom Barbone, though.
If he's listening, I'm sure he'll give them to you.
Right?
Well, and there are some people listening and they are commenting. So keep those comments up. And I just wanted to let you guys know, because you that are on the broadcast, that, you know, someone mentioned, hi, everyone. Hello, one and all. And it looks like Sylvia Stedman is one of those folks that is on and being part of the broadcast. So keep those comments coming. We'd like to hear from them. And I just want to mention a little trivia thing here. Kim and Don are cousins, believe it or not. So not only are they reconnecting as classmates, first cousins.
Yes.
So now they're reconnecting as family members. So isn't that like ironic?
Yeah.
So
Family reunion.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Right.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So just wanted to mention that. So the question that I have to ask you is, you kind of covered a little bit about where you are musically, but you know, so I'm not going to have you repeat everything, but how, like, did you initially get started in liking music? Was it when you were a little boy, or, you know, and this is for both of you to answer, when did your interest start? I'm always curious of that. So if you can kind of elaborate, that would be good.
Yeah, mine started really young, just from me listening, and my parents got me started playing with a clarinet in elementary school.
Okay.
And then from there on, I took lessons. I took guitar lessons and bass lessons and so on and so forth.
Nice.
The singing came naturally. I think it has to do with my dad's powerful voice.
Okay.
And then I went to Rhode Island School of Music for a while. And from that point on, I just maintained bands and kept playing. I don't play much anymore. I just teach. So that's about where that wound up. I got
Nice.
tired of running around doing the night stuff.
Yeah, that is a hectic schedule, you know, having to do gigs, and I'm sure Don can relate to that as well, because you're always on the go and it's late nights and, you know, not a normal routine, but, you know, that's good. And I know that before we move on to Don with that question, before the broadcast went on, you guys were talking about the bands that you used to play in, you know, during high school. and the different folks like Philip Wakefield, and you mentioned a few others. Can you say a little bit more on that?
Yeah, Donnie and I and Phil Wakefield started a band when we were what, about 17, Don?
Yeah, about that. Yep.
Yeah. Uh, and that went on, and then Don went into the service, and I wound up with Joe Barboza as his replacement,
Hmm,
and we just played a little bit from that point on.
nice.
Then I started a band called Fatback, who was Kenny. God, I can't remember his last name. He used to work at Gilda, but he was a guitar player, and it was with Donnie Highland too. He
Nice.
played the harp on there, and we
Nice.
played around for a little bit, and then I moved out here.
That's great. That's great. Thanks. All right, John, what do you got for us?
Okay, well, all right. So actually, Bruce, I didn't know that you went to Rhode Island School of Music, but I did too. But we must not have gone. We must have just kind of missed each other. But
Yeah, probably.
yeah, so I went there, I guess just a year, and then I was supposed to go to Berkeley, and I still have my acceptance letter from Berkeley to this day, but ended up not having the money to go. So someone was telling me about the Navy band, and I could get the GI Bill, and then I could go to Berkeley. So I auditioned at Navy Band Newport, and and passed the audition, and so I joined the Navy as a musician, and what happened is I just stayed for 20 years. So I was a Navy musician for 20 years. I got to say, it was like really fantastic. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard I'm sorry. I thought I heard something.
I heard that too, but we'll keep going. I'm
All
not
right,
sure
all
who-
right. A ghost in the machine. So
Probably.
anyway, I never would have thought of myself as the military type, like in high school. But you know what? I just loved it. I loved it. It was really fantastic. I loved serving my country and serving in that way where I could
Yeah.
use my talents, and it was really good. And along the way, I did I did a lot of cool things with the Navy band, but also I like moonlighted a lot. And my first band was San Francisco, and I got to play with David LaFlame. So you might not know that name, but do you remember It's a Beautiful Day?
Yeah. Yep.
And Whitebird, that was the
Whitebird,
hit.
yep.
Well, I ended up playing with David LaFlame in San Francisco, and I'm like playing that song, right? And it's like pinching myself, going, man, I used to listen to this, not that many years ago. So that was so cool. And like another great, well, actually, this one was very poignant. This one was a sad one, but you remember, the Jonestown Massacre.
Yeah.
Well, Congressman Ryan was from his district included San Francisco.
Mhm.
So, and he had been in the Navy. I don't know if he had retired, or I don't know his whole backstory, but he, when they brought his remains back, and they had a funeral for him in San Francisco, and his family, or he had requested somewhere in his will that he wanted a Navy choir to sing when the time came. And anyway, we don't really have choirs, but we were tagged to go sing at his funeral. So we all had to put our instruments away and learn a handful of hymns and then go sing at his funeral. So anyway, there's just so many interesting and like I said, it was like a real poignant kind of very sad one, but memorable.
Yeah.
There were a lot of memorable things that went on. So
Yeah, I had an aunt and a cousin who died in that Jonestown thing.
oh really?
Wow.
Yeah.
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 That's terrible.
And then like after I retired, I retired in 96. And so I was like 42 and I actually quit. I quit playing for about 6 years, but then I started up again. And, you know, like I had a day job, like I'd finished my education when I was in the Navy. And so I figured I had to get a real job. And so, yeah, so I quit playing and, but then, so that was about 6 years and I started up again. And ever since then, it's only been like part-time and since that point, but had a chance to play with some really phenomenal people. Let's see, Nina Simone's daughter, she goes by the name Simone, got to play with her in Boston. And then, um, um, oh dear, what's his name from G.E. Smith from
Right.
Saturday Night Live, the music
Yeah,
director.
he's great.
Yeah, I did a number of gigs with him, and that was cool too. And that was only about 6-7 years ago. And I remember we were doing a gig in Bethlehem, and at a music festival here locally, and he was with us. He lives in New York,
Hmm.
and so he's not too far away. And I remember like watching him on TV, and you remember he had that Cheshire cat grin, like from ear to
Yeah.
ear. He never talked. We just had that big grin, and there I am on stage, and I'm like looking at him, and there's that big grin, and I'm going, wow, this is so cool, right? So anyway, so I've just had some really wonderful opportunities to play with some like phenomenal people, and so it's all been good.
Good.
Oh, that's awesome. Just before we go on with Kim, Sylvia wants to know what your real job was, and if you just want to fill her in quickly for that.
Yeah, okay. So when we were in high school, I, um, I wasn't really into the academics, right? And so I was like sort of mediocre, but I got it in gear later. So I ended up getting an MBA. I was in financial services, and that's what I was doing from my day job, right? But I had a haircut, of course, and anyway, but then I had a staff position, and I was like running in compliance and doing some other things. I got laid off when I was 58, and it's a kind of a terrible time to get laid off, right?
Mm.
But I could just about afford to be semi-retired. So at that point, I was just teaching and playing, and that was it. But I was in financial services for about 15 years.
Nice.
Okay.
Thanks. All right, Kim, you're up.
Okay, so guys, what was your favorite high school memory, and what was your favorite class, and who was your favorite teacher?
I would say I really didn't have a favorite teacher because I wasn't. Matter of fact, I think I finished next to last in my class because I just kind of skated on through. I wanted to get the
Same.
hell out of there and go
Yep.
do my thing, and it just got that way. I got fed up with the teachers and the whole system. So, like Don said, he wasn't much into the academics, and neither was I, because we were doing the music thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I was
Yeah.
I was also doing some artwork too, which never registered. But there's a bit the crazy story. The guidance teacher of the high school called my father in, telling him that I wasn't doing that good, and guidance teacher said, "Well, Bruce isn't going to be able to do anything but auto mechanic." And my father snapped back, said, "You know, he plays a couple of instruments." And he goes, "No, I don't." He goes, "Well, then you don't know nothing about him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's just end this right here."
Mm.
Isn't that a shame? Because I think it's not individualized. It wasn't back then anyway.
Right.
And that's really a shame.
Right.
Yeah, and a lot of them never did their homework, and they basically just taught you out of the book the way it was, you
Mhm.
know. And
Yeah.
being my family was Native American background, I was
Hmm.
always in arguments with the history teachers,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So,
Probably still today,
Mhm.
a lot of arguments about it.
oh
They
yeah,
probably
Yeah.
and they probably didn't want to be challenged
No.
that's
to
well,
like that.
they just found 250 kids buried in a reservation school,
Yeah.
you
Was
know,
that up
the
in
where the
Canada?
Catholics,
Yeah.
yeah,
We saw
where the
that. Yeah.
Catholics, yeah,
Horrible.
were
Yeah.
disciplining, and they just buried the kids, you know. And that's
Yeah.
Mhm.
like, look how long that
Yeah.
had to take to come out.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that's over 80 years ago. What
Yeah.
happened?
Yep.
Isn't that awful?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well, that is unfortunate. I think things have changed a little bit. Um, you know, when we were in school, I think as each year goes on, I think, they learn more and
Oh,
do
definitely.
things. Yeah.
Well, they have
And
to because it's becoming more diverse.
Right.
exactly,
Right.
exactly. And I think that's great that they can do that. And but unfortunate, in your circumstance and in others as well during that time.
Yep.
But you know what?
Well,
You
that
still were
taught me
successful.
just keep my mouth shut sometimes. You know.
Oh, that's funny. Well, everyone has something to say, and you should have a right to say it as long
Right.
as it's,
Right.
comes out not slugging, I guess,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. So, but anyway,
Um, Don, what about you? Who was your favorite high school? What was your favorite high school memory? Your favorite class? Your favorite teacher?
Well, I guess my favorite teacher would have been Miss Pendleton.
Okay.
uh,
She was the art teacher.
yeah,
The
she's
art, yes,
Okay.
art. So yeah, so like I really enjoyed that. And the other one, and again, I certainly wasn't the best mathematician, but Mr. Chafee.
Yeah.
I think if my memory serves me right, I think I had him for geometry.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I enjoyed that. I don't think I did really well in it, but I enjoyed that. And anyway, but I did kind of rectify that. I got to really love math afterwards. So I took a lot of math in my MBA, and
Yep.
I kind of redeemed myself a little bit. But anyway, but those are the two classes that I seem to have the most recollection of, and I enjoyed both of those.
Yeah.
I would say my favorite teacher was Mr. Craig,
I loved
the
her
English
too.
teacher. Yeah,
Oh,
She was
oh,
great,
yes.
wasn't
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
she was good.
she? Was
'cause
she was awesome.
she really did the teaching. You know,
Yeah.
she taught you.
And, yep, she was a great teacher. I loved her too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, she was awesome. I saw her later in years, and we had the nicest chat. And she was always such a great lady. I always admired her because she was really smart and she did teach well, and you really got to understand and appreciate the things that she taught.
Yeah.
Where sometimes
I
that
remember.
never
I
happened.
remember the best part of that was she wanted all of us to do a book report on somebody that we admired. I did it on Jimi Hendrix. I got an A
Oh,
on it. It was the only piece I ever got
Oh,
an A
that's
on.
awesome.
perfect.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's perfect. Well, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Just wanted to keep you up to date on all these texts. So let's see. Let's see. Tom Barbone. Yes, Tom. Bruce is in Oregon. He was asking where you lived, and you are in Oregon, and they all. Let's see. Someone mentioned Bruce. Your father was smart to say that to the guidance counselor when you were telling your story.
Mm.
And then someone said, Bruce, you were great in art, and it sounds like you still may be. So keep that going. And I think that we caught up on all the the text so far. And Tom Barbone says hi, and it was great to see you. So, and maybe he'll see you on the slopes, Don. Hint, hint, hint.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So I got a question for you both. What message would you give to the class of 73? If you had a message to give, what would that be?
I would say don't stick to the norms. Just follow your dream
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
go with what you love, because that's not work. It's something
That's
you
it.
like doing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You nailed that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, I would second that, and I just wish everybody well, and I look forward to seeing whoever comes to the reunion. I look forward to seeing everybody, and after all this time, and yeah, I just wish everybody well, and and happiness. And I know Tom Barbone said it well too last week. Wish everybody peace and love and all that good stuff, right? And
Yeah.
Yeah, tell all the commenters thanks for the well wishing.
Yes, absolutely. And they can hear you, and this will go on after the fact too. And
Yeah.
so that's good. So, and I think, Kim, you have one more question for
I
these two.
do. So, is there anything specific that you would like others to know, other classmates to know about you?
I got 3 wonderful children.
Okay.
yeah, there you go. Right? Oh, that's good.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I got
Great.
one that lives in Austin, and
Okay.
2 that live here locally with me. And they're all doing well. And I don't believe in the crap they say about the younger generation being lazy, because all my kids are just balls to the wall with
Yeah.
their labor
Nice.
force. So
Yep.
Well, they had
But
a good role model.
I think that has a lot to do with my wife at that point. She was the one who
Yeah.
always told him, "I'll tell your father when he gets home," and he would shut right up.
Well, let's see. So I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't mention some kids too. I guess so. So along the way, I had 5, and
Busy
so
little fellow.
what? Yeah. Yes. And then just as of 2 months ago, we had grandchild number 14.
Wow.
Whoa.
So,
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
there are a lot of grandkids out there.
Yeah.
that's a community, Don.
Yes.
I know. And it's crazy because they're 12 boys and 2 girls.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what? And I had like 4 girls and a son, right?
That mitochondrial DNA will run strong in your family.
Yeah.
I guess so. But anyway, so that's all good. It's all wonderful.
Wow.
Oh, that's very special. That's very special.
Yeah.
Wow, this has been a really, really nice like catch up. And I have to say, I never knew you two in high school. And I am so happy that I had this opportunity to get to know you more, because you both are really great. And kudos to you for the music. I love music. I don't think I could live without it.
Right.
I tinker on, the piano and the guitar just for fun. And, it's nice to see my grandson take an interest in it as well. So I applaud you for that. And I'm
Make
so
him stick
happy.
with it, Kim.
Yeah, well, he's only going to be 2, and he's fascinated with the guitar because my son plays. He's self-taught, and
Yeah, I usually sell my lessons in blocks of 4, one day a week. And
Oh,
the
you
reason I
do?
sell them, the reason I sell them in blocks of 4 is because you have to make that little bit of commitment before it starts
Yeah.
becoming a little bit easier.
What a good idea!
Yeah.
Great idea. But thank you for coming on. And before we close, we're going to do some class updates and wrap ups. But it really was a pleasure to like meet you in a sense in more of a casual setting, and if you will. Yeah, I think this has been great. And Kim, thanks for coming on. And
Oh, you're
it was
welcome.
a pleasure to see you. But Kim, do you want to kind of go over some class updates if you have any on the reunion planning? And
Yeah.
if
We're sorry. We're still working on getting the invites out. I just had to like blow up my list. I got the original list and I didn't resize it. And I had to get a magnifying glass to read it, but I figured out how to blow it up. So, but we're working on getting out the invitations. Hope to see both of you there, Don and Bruce. It should be a fun time.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
And just another note, we do have a planning meeting April 20th at 7:30. I know Dawn has been attending the meetings. Bruce, if you have an interest in coming on to, check things out, just send, I have your email address. I can send you a link if you're interested.
Yeah, do that.
Okay, I will definitely put you on the list. And
All right.
I know that Mary Ellen Spizzato Rogers, we have to do all the big names so people will know who they are, right? So she's meeting with Nancy Burns Fazaro because she's written our story for our class of 73. And we're hoping to get that like kind of as something more as like PR in a sense to kind of keep our class prepared and in the loop of things. And that might be in the Westerly Sun, and Nancy Burns Fazaro from the Sun may be putting that on the Front Porch News. So I think you can access that newspaper online as well. So as soon as that gets rolling, I know she's meeting with Nancy on Monday, so that's really awesome. And other than that, I know that things are pretty much in place for Gray Sale. And it's just a matter now of just kind of keeping these broadcasts going till the reunion, and then connecting to many people as we can on Facebook to keep the momentum going until the event. So that's all. I know that was a good update. And any other questions before we head out?
No, I'm all done. Don,
All
it was a
right.
pleasure talking with you.
Oh, same here, Bruce. It's very good to see you.
Kim 1 and Kim 2. Great talking to you guys.
You too.
And
You as well.
Oregon's really not that far away.
No,
So,
just a plane right away.
Yep.
That's right.
So,
All right, guys, take care.
we
All right.
just,
You got a
Thanks,
question?
Bruce.
no, I have a, somebody just brought up the fact they wanted us to mention that Jeff Butler, our classmate, has passed away recently.
Oh,
What?
wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
All right, guys, take care.
Take care, Bruce.
Take care, Bruce.
It was great seeing you guys.
All right. Thanks,
Be well,
everyone.
be happy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.